Hi everyone, today I'm here with another book haul, and I think hopefully that's going to be the last one of the year because my TBR has grown significantly bigger this year. So yeah, I've got 15 books here to talk about. So yeah, as usual, I don't want to stay here forever, so there are going to be books that I might not give you a lot of information, and some of them I might just read you the blurbs depending on the book. Okay. There is quite a different selection of genres. I've got some sci-fis, I've got some thrillers, some cozy mysteries, a horror, a couple of middle grades, and some other genres thrown in there as well. So let's get started. I'm just going to go with how they are in the stack right now, but I did get them at different times. So I have also combined them by genres this time. I don't normally do that. But anyway, so the first one I've got is She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and Naruki Nagakawa. If you know me, I'm a massive crazy cat lady, and anything to do with cats I enjoy. This one is a short book as well, and as soon as I saw that in the shop I thought I need that. And also with Japanese literature about cats, I seem to enjoy them a lot. There have been a couple of exceptions, like the If Cats Disappeared from the World, or there was another one, The Gas Cat. I didn't particularly like those, but The Traveling Cat Chronicles is one of my favourite books of all time now, so that's definitely, love it. And this one as well, this one was fantastic. I've already read it and oh my god, I give it 5 stars. It was perfect. On the outskirts of Tokyo, in a neighbourhood crossed by a commuter railway, local cats weave their way through lives and homes as their owners navigate difficult times. A cat named Chobby sends silent messages of courage to a young woman, willing her to end a faltering relationship. A gifted artist fatally misunderstands her boss's enthusiasm for her paintings. A manga fan shuts herself away after the death of her friend, while her cat Cookie hatches a plan to lure her outside. A woman who has dedicated her life to a distant husband learns a lesson in independence from her cat. So it's basically like, as it described also, She and Her Cat explores the gentle magic of the everyday. And of course it's got to do with cats. It was wholesome, beautiful, a bit of heartbreaking at points. I cried a few times reading this book. It was just beautiful, but it's only a book haul, so, but I already can say if you love cats, read it. Then I've got a horror novel. So I've got What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. It's a smaller book, and I recently read 2 books by T. Kingfisher and really enjoyed them, especially The Hollow Places. That one was fantastic. So I've decided to read her other books slowly as well, so that's the next one I've decided to pick up. And I realised also apparently she's mostly a reteller of different like short stories, horror short stories. So this one is no exception. This one is a retelling of Edgar Allan Poe's The Fall of the House of Usher, and I think I read that short story ages ago. I remember reading a collection of short stories quite a few years ago. I remember reading a book of short stories by this author and enjoying some of them, but not all of them. But, okay. When Alex Easton, a retired soldier, receives word that their childhood friend Madeline Usher is dying, they race to the ancestral home of the Ushers in the remote countryside of Ruritania. What they found there is a nightmare of fungal growths and possessed wildlife surrounding a dark, pulsing lake. Madeline sleepwalks and speaks in strange voices at night, and her brother Roderick is consumed with a mysterious malady of the nerves. Aided by a redoubtable British mycologist and a baffled American doctor, Alex must unravel the secret of the House of Usher before it consumes them all. It sounds kind of scary, and I'm hoping it's going to be scary. There's something even comforting about her books, somehow, even though they're horror. But I'm recently into horror, at least her books, So I'm definitely looking forward to this one, and it won't take me long at all. So hopefully I'll get to this one sooner rather than later, and then carry on with the other books by her as well. Then I've got a sort of non-fiction, but that is Paranormal Stories by Jamie King. It is supernatural tales and unexplained mysteries from across the world. So there are different ghosty stories, different like witch stories, other unexplained mysteries. I said it's kind of non-fiction because it's essentially a collection of like real life stories. I think so, like unexplained things that happened and whatnot. So I started it at one point when I went into a cafe by myself. So I'm on page 18 and I haven't read it since. So hopefully I will be reading it because I just thought it sounded interesting and I got it. So I'm going to be reading a story every now and then whenever I'm in the mood for something like this, or just want to read something but don't know what I want to read. So it's going to be one of them. Next one I've got is the only fantasy I think I got from this selection, but I've got Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. And it says high fantasy, low stakes, good company. And I've heard about this book from Jade from JD Ray Reads. She read it and loved it, and it's quite a cool art on the inside as well, which I quite like. It's quite a cozy one. I think that's what she basically says. It's cute, and again, low stakes, good company, and I guess it's quite kind of like a cozy fantasy in a way. I must admit I haven't even read what the blurb is, so I'm gonna read it with you. I just knew that she enjoyed it a lot and I just went with it because it sounded interesting when she was talking about it. But let's read the blurb together. She's done slaying monsters. She's ready to serve coffee. After decades of adventuring, Viv, the orc barbarian, is finally hanging up her sword for good. Now she sets her sights on a new dream, for she plans to open the first coffee shop in the city of Thune, even though no one there knows what coffee actually is. If Viv wants to put the past behind her, she can't go it alone. Help might arrive from unexpected quarters, yet rivals old and new stand in the way of success. And Thune's shady underbelly could make it all too easy for Viv to take up the blade once more. But the true reward of the uncharted path is the travellers you meet along the way. Whether bound by ancient magic, delicious pastries, or a freshly brewed cup, they may become something deeper than Viv could ever have imagined. Legends and Lattes is a cozy, heartwarming story of found family, fresh starts, and the perfect cup of coffee. And there's a cup of coffee there. So it sounds really cute and cozy. So I'm actually really looking forward to it. I've not read a fantasy, I feel like, for a while now. So I'm looking forward to this one a lot. And I don't think I've ever read like a cozy fantasy before. So, apart from Harry Potter, but that's different. Anyway, looking forward to this one. Then I've got 2 middle grades, and then I'm going to move on to cozy mystery, thriller, and then sci-fi. So the 2 middle grades that I've got is Fesegrim by Thomas Taylor, which is the 4th book in the Irion Sea mystery series, and that's again, as I recently mentioned in one of my videos, I sort of got off middle grade, especially like adventurous type things, but I still want to carry on with this one because there's a slightly creepy element in this series, because it's set in a hotel, mostly on a little town that says Cheery on Sea during summer, but it says Eerie on Sea during winter, and it's a little bit creepy in places. We follow these 2 main characters, Palmer Violet, who's trying to find her parents, and we've got lost and founder of the hotel, Sherbet Lemon, Herbert even. Yeah, and so it's about their adventures together. So this is book number 4, so I can't really talk about much about it, but it's good fun always, so yay. And then I've got The Haunting of Evelyn Jones by Phil Hicks. I already finished it. I actually finished it this morning when I'm filming this, and this is the 3rd book in a series of these creepy middle grades. The first 2 were really good. This one wasn't quite as good, I thought. It wasn't as creepy as the first 2. But in this one we follow our main character, Evelyn, who goes to, basically with her mum and her friend, to her uncle's house, who disappeared years ago. And now she wants to figure out what he's disappeared and why he's disappeared and stuff like that, because he was researching some supernatural activity around an ancient burial mound. So, it's all about that. It's got quite a few different illustrations again, and all of the chapters sort of start like this as well. What's with the illustrations? It's got illustrations. It was quite atmospheric and everything, so I do enjoy these ones. They are quite good fun, and they can be quite creepy as well. So that's again one of the ones that I really enjoy from middle grade stuff. Okay, now we're moving on to cozy mystery. I've got like 3 of them. So I've got Pocketful of Rye by Agatha Christie. I don't know if you'd count that as cozy mystery, but it's a classic mystery, murder mystery type thing. And I've read a couple of Agatha Christie's books and wasn't quite blown away by any of them, but there's just something about her mysteries that sometimes I just want to cozy up and read it. So that's another one of them, and I think it's by Miss Marple series. I don't know. And I don't think it matters in what order you read them. Kind of like the cover, it's kind of cozy. So, a wealthy family, a fatal cup of tea. Rex Fortescue was enjoying his morning cup of tea when he met his untimely end. Suspicions naturally turned to his wife. He was filthy rich after all. Then she too is found dead. Strange clues of Scotland Yard's finest minds scratching their heads. Poisoned marmalade, dead blackbirds, a victim found with a pocket full of rye. It's up to Jane Marple to put the pieces of this strange puzzle together. It sounds really interesting and I'm looking forward to it. It's not a big book at all, only about 250 pages. So whenever I fancy a cozy mystery, I can get into this one. Then I've got the one with a really cool cover. A Spoonful of Murder by J.M. Hall. I really like the cover. I quite like the blue. I love the fact that there's a cat on the cover. Retirement can be murder. Every Thursday, 3 retired school teachers have their coffee o'clock sessions at the Thirsk Garden Centre Cafe. But on one fateful week, as they are catching up with a slice of cake, they bump into their ex-colleague, Topsy. The next Thursday, Topsy's dead. The last thing Liz, Thelma and Pat imagined was that they would become involved in a murder. But they know there's more to Topsy's death than meets the eye, and it's down to them to prove it. So it sounds really cozy again, and I am really, really, really looking forward to this one. I'm so in the mood for this one. So hopefully I'll get to this one sooner rather than later. Next one I got, must admit, purely because of the cover and the title, and it is The Cat Who Caught a Killer. Again, another cat book, I know. By L.T. Shearer. It says charming and original. Cat on the cover. Meet Conrad. You've never met a cat like him before. Neither has Lulu Lewis when he walks into her life one summer's day. Mourning the recent death of her husband, the former police detective had expected a gentle retirement, quietly enjoying life of her new canal boat, the Lark, and visiting her mother-in-law Emily in a nearby care home. But when Emily dies suddenly in suspicious circumstances, Lulu senses foul play and resolves to find out what really happened. And a remarkable cat named Conrad will be with her every step of the way. Sounds really cute, and also this book has little paw prints, which is adorable. And is there anything on the cover? No, it's just red on here. I'm really looking forward to this one, and like I've said before, I love books with cats in them, and this one just sounds adorable and cute. Really can't wait to read this one. Then I've got the 3 thrillers. One of them I have already read, so I'm going to start with that one, and it is Take Your Breath Away by Linwood Barclay. In this one we follow a story of so there's a husband and a wife, and one day the wife just disappeared, and then 6 years later the husband has still been blamed for, because everyone thinks he killed her, and then 6 years later there seems to be a woman who appears on the street where they used to live. There's now a new house built on what their house used to be, and she sort of drops her grocery bags and she shouts for the whole street saying like, "Where's my house? What happened to my house?" So now everyone thinks she's back. But is she back? Is she not back? There's a mystery. Like I said, I've already read it and I did enjoy it. So I don't know what else to say. It was enjoyable, but there were a couple of moments that annoyed me. But it's not a wrap up. But I did really enjoy it. It was quite a cool mystery, and there were a few twists and turns that I didn't expect. So that was good. Next one is One Step Too Far by Lisa Gardner. I kind of like the cover. It looks sort of creepy, doesn't it? A young man disappears during a stag weekend in the woods. Years later, he's still missing, but his friends who were with him that day are still searching, still hunting for answers. They hike deep into the wilderness. With them is missing person specialist Frankie Elkin. What they don't know is that they are putting their own lives in terrifying danger and may not come back alive. This sounds extremely cool to me. I'm really looking forward to this one, but then again, I'm looking forward to all of these books that I'm talking about. So yay, my legs are starting to kill me, so. Next one is The Girls Who Disappeared by Claire Douglas. Another thriller, obviously. In this book we follow a mystery of one day a girl is driving in a car with her friends, and there's a mysterious figure appearing somewhere on the road, so she swerves to avoid it and then hits something, and then when she loses consciousness, and when she awakes back on, she's all alone. Her friends completely vanished. And now 20 years later, there's a journalist who's investigating what happened, and she's trying to make Olivia, the main character, speak, but she doesn't say anything about it. So is she hiding something, and why, like, people of this town are so frightened? So it sounds really, again, really intriguing, and I'm looking forward to this one. Last three books are the sci-fi novels. So I've got a bit of a classic one at first, Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I've always wanted to read this book for a while. I know it was published in 1930s, and it's a classic sort of sci-fi novel about the future and stuff like that. I don't know anything else about it. I just know that it's quite a popular book, and a dystopia as well, for that matter, and I'm just so excited for this one. I don't even need to know what it's about. Apparently it's again like a perfect world, but stuff just doesn't go quite well, or something along those lines. I really don't know. So, and what's cool about this book as well, it's a 3D cover, and inside there were the glasses as well, which is quite cool. Then I've got the Anomaly by, oh, I don't know how to pronounce that name, sorry. Hervé Letelier, I'm so sorry. In this book there's a plane, and it goes into a massive storm, and somehow the plane duplicates. So there's, like, I guess two storylines, with one of the plane arriving in March, and the other one arrives in June. So now all of the people are obviously who are on that plane are also duplicated. So there are two of them, and who of them gets to live the life? It sounds really intriguing. I'm really intrigued by this book, so I can't wait to read this one. I love stuff like that, so I'm really intrigued by this one a lot. And the last book, finally, is the one I actually just got today, and it is Eversion, I guess, by Alistair Reynolds. I really like the cover of this one. A small group of intrepid explorers are in search of a remote and mysterious artifact. It's a well-funded expedition, well organized, which is lucky as they're sailing north of Bergen on the schooner Demeter, searching for a narrow inlet which will lead them to a vast uncharted lake, and their goal until disaster strikes. Dr. Silas Coade wakes from disturbing dreams on the steamship Demeter in pursuit of an extraordinary find, almost too incredible and too strange to believe, secreted within a lagoon in the icy inlets of Patagonia. But as they come in sight of their prize, he and the crew see they're not the first to come so far. There is a wreck ahead, and whatever ruined it may threaten them as well. Shaking off his nightmares, Dr. Silas Coade joins his fellow explorers on the deck of the Zeppelin Demeter and realizes something has already gone dangerously wrong with their mission. If any of them are to survive, then he will have to take the exploration and their lives into his own hands. Sounds really cool. I'm very intrigued by this one quite a lot. So yes, and I do enjoy good sci-fi. So yeah, these are all of the books that I acquired for the past month or so. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of the books and what you thought of them. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!